Hey everyone, welcome to this video. My name is Tom and this is WP Learners, where I teach you how to build websites without code. And so in today's video, we will be creating this menu effect here, an off-canvas menu. And so basically what happens is you click this icon and off from the side of the canvas, a menu slides in and it looks pretty cool. It works on mobile really well too, so you don't have to have two menus or adjust any settings really for mobile, minus a few things, but no real extensive settings needed to be changed there. And so to do this, what you are going to need is you're going to need Elementor. You will need Elementor Pro. And so that is a visual drag and drop builder that allows you to build websites without touching code really. And so the link for that is in my description. I am using a theme called Astra Pro. I use that for all my sites. So if you are in the process of building yourself a new website, I would recommend jumping on Astra Pro. I will link to that in my description as well. And so those are the two kind of tools that you will need for this tutorial in order to follow along. But first things first, I need you to go and jump straight into your WordPress dashboard, okay? And so that is the back end of your website where you add pages and all of that. So I'm just going to move my camera just a second. There we go. And I am going to jump straight over to Appearance and then Menus. And so once we load into the menus, we're going to create a menu that we are going to add into our off-canvas menu. So you can see here that I've made one. To create a new menu, all you need to do is click Create a New Menu there. So I will show you just how to do that now. I'm going to create a new one called Off Canvas Demo. Click Create on that menu. Okay, so once that's done, you can add your pages in. For the purposes of this video, I'm going to add some custom links because that means I don't have to go through the process of adding pages into my website. It just makes things just a little bit quicker. And so I'm going to put a hashtag in here because that will, when you click the link, it won't send anyone anywhere. It will keep them on the same page. And so I'm going to put home. Oh, jumping over to the wrong tab there. About. Let's go portfolio. And let's throw a contact link in there as well. Once you've done that, just click Save. That menu will then save into WordPress for you. And then you can use that menu to add into your off-canvas menu in just a second. And so we're going to go over and create our off-canvas menu now. So if you hover over templates on the left, this is an Elementor feature, by the way, you are going to want to go to pop-ups. It is an Elementor Pro feature. That's why you need to have Pro installed. And you can see I've made a demo one there, which is the one you saw just a moment ago. I'm going to add a new one now. Off Canvas 2. Make sure pop-up is selected, by the way. Click Create on that. And we'll just wait for that to load up. It's going to launch you straight into Elementor, so it's going to launch the drag and drop builder for you. Okay, so once this loads up, it's going to load in the default template selector here. You're going to click off of that, and you'll be left with this pop-up in the middle of your page, okay? And so in order to kind of get this to work the way we need it to do, we need to change a few settings. Now, normally in Elementor, you will throw in an inner section and you can change all the settings here. You can still change all the settings here, but we don't add a section yet. And in fact, we go to the bottom left where the settings icon is. And that will give you all of the settings for this little pop-up, okay? Now, first thing we need to do is we need to make this pop-up fit the size, like the height, essentially, of the screen from top to bottom, okay? And you can see there's a height section here, and if we select fit to screen, it does that for us, okay? And then I am going to align this menu to the right, okay? And so under the position section and the horizontal tab, you want to click on align to the right. Now for me this is too wide, okay? So I want to reduce the width here just a little bit. So I'm going to drag this slider in to around about there. And then I want to change the background as well. So if you click on the Style tab at the top and go to Classic, Color, I'm going to switch this to black. We can then start adding things into this off canvas section here, okay? Obviously it's not off canvas yet. You'll see how that works in just a little bit, but for now we're just creating the structure to get this in place. So click the top icon in the right hand corner of the editor. This will bring up the Elements panel. And another Elementor Pro feature is this nav menu, okay? And so search for nav and throw it in over here. Now by default, it's going to load the links up across the top, okay? And so you can select whatever menu you want. So I've got the off-canvas demo menu there, just like that. And it's applied some basic styling based on what's already on the theme. So we're going to just change just a few things, okay? First things first, I want this to be vertical, not horizontal. And so there is a layout section just on the left-hand side here. And you want to click the drop down and click vertical, okay? And then I don't want this underline underneath all of this. So there is a pointer section here and underline. I'm going to click none. And then I just want to change a few things about the text. So I want to change the font. I'm going to switch to my favorite font, which is Railway, if this drop down decides to work. There we go. Railway. I then want to make this font weight, so the boldness of the font, to 200, so it's pretty low. I quite like the light effect here. And then we're going to turn up the size, and it's going to look quite squashed for just a second. So let's go with around 40 on the sizing, 40 pixels. Then we want to add some vertical padding, so some space between the top and bottom of each item. Okay, so let's drag that all the way to 50. I want this text to change when we hover over it as well. So I am going to make this white. So just to do that, you click the hover and then change the text color, and you can see that change takes effect once you do that. One more thing, I want to change the background color here of the pop-up itself to semi-transparent so that you can see the content underneath it. So we go back into the settings cog at the bottom left and click on style, click on color, and just drag this little slider over to the left, and you can see that the content starts to appear underneath the menu just slightly. And so this is the structure of everything here, and there is just one thing left that we need to do. So you can see on my test version here that we've got this nice little fade in animation. And so on our one that we're building right now, if you go back to settings, so this little bottom left icon here, and click on settings on the top left, you can see that you've got an entrance animation. The one I'm using in my demo is fade in right, okay? And so you can add an exit one as well, which I haven't done in the other one, but I'm going to do that now. And we're going to go fade out right. And so if you select that, you'll get that nice kind of fade, slow animation in every time that you click the menu. And so that's all we need to do to set this up in terms of the structure of the off-canvas menu. There's just a couple more things we need to do to make this work and make it live. So click publish, and you are going to want to set a trigger. So you want to set an event that when that happens, the menu is shown, okay? And so you want to do that when someone clicks on it. So click on the on button here for on click. I'm just going to move my camera again so that you can see this. And so then all you want to do is click next and ignore all that. You don't need that. Save and close that, and that will be done. Let's move my camera back. Okay, and so what you're going to want to do now is just exit to your dashboard again. And we are now going to add this into the header of the website, okay? So I'm going to create a new header for you guys so that you can see how that works. So again, under templates, you've got theme builder, okay? So you're going to want to click on that. And you'll see that when I load this, I've already got a menu here, a header, sorry. And I'm just going to create a new one so you guys can see how this works. So I'm going to click add new. Select a header, and I'm going to name this template new header. demo. Create that. And then once that loads up, it will do the same thing. It will project us straight into Elementor, and we can start building that there. I'm going to create a similar effect to what I have in the demo version that I showed you at the start of this video, but I'm just going to show you guys how that's made. Okay, again, by default, what happens is when Elementor launches you into this window, the templates show up. We're not going to use any of those, just to make this quick. So I'm going to click on X. I'm going to throw an inner section in over here. Inner sections just gives you more flexibility on the structure of your columns and your rows, and so I always use an inner section. And now on the main section, the top level one, I'm just going to set a background color of white. So I click on that, then go to Style, Background Type Classic, and then Color, drag it up to white. And in the left-hand column here, I am going to show you how to add a header. So you go back into the element selector, and then it's just this heading element here. Throw it into that column. And then I'm just going to type in placeholder logo in the text. Let's change that to black so that we can see it. Again, let's change the font. Switch that over to Railway. Font weight of 200. Awesome. And now this is where things are just a little bit different to normal. Instead of adding a menu in here, we're going to add an icon. So if we go back to the element selector and search for an icon, it's this top left one here. Throw it into the column on the right. And then once that's loaded, click on Icon Library and search for bars. Okay, that will give you the same sort of effect that we have in our demo version. Move you back. There we go. And so you see that we've got this bar here in the middle of this column, but I want to make this smaller. So we click on Style, go to Size, and let's just find a size that I like. 26 will do. And then I'm going to align this to the right, but it's too far over to the right, so I want to add some margin in here. So I'm going to add 40 pixels worth of margin on the right hand side there. And I'm going to change the color so that you can see the difference between the demo version I showed you and the one that we're making now. So let's switch this up to the orange color that the theme is using. That'll do. And now this is where the magic happens, okay? So you can see that there is a link section here, and to the right you've got two icons. One represents link options, the other represents dynamic tags. You are going to want to click on the dynamic tags option, and you'll get a load of options that you can kind of load in to the link pad here. But what you want to do is you want to click on pop-up. It's under the actions tab. And what that is going to do, I don't know why it's launched that, let's click off that. I've got pop-up there, and then I want to click on that again. It will give you a drop down. Now under the pop-up section here, click on the drop down and search for your pop-up that you made. So I called this off canvas 2. And now every time we click this icon, the off canvas menu will show. And so if I click publish now, and if I add a condition for the entire site, let's move the camera so I can see the button, save and close. If we preview that now, we will see our finished product. Okay, so this is all loaded now, and so let's see this work in action. So if I click on this icon, it fades in, and if I click on the X, it fades out quite nicely. This works on mobile too. But you'll see that we have one problem here, okay? And that's that we get a mobile collapsible menu when we resize the screen. This is a really easy fix, okay? So if we hover over Edit with Elementor, in fact, no, let's go back to our dashboard. And if we navigate back to our pop-up settings and relaunch our pop-up, we will be able to change that setting. I wanted to show you guys what happened there just so that you could see it in a real world example. So if we click Edit with Elementor again and load our pop-up back up, it's just one setting that changes this, okay? Okay, so we are back in our pop-up settings, and what you are going to want to do is you want to click on the menu. Okay, so select that and make it appear on your editor tab on the left. Now you'll see on the mobile drop-down options here that there is a breakpoint option. Now basically what this means is that when it reaches the maximum defined pixels, so in this case it's 1025 pixels, if your screen is 1025 pixels or less, it will collapse the menu into a mobile menu. Now you want to select that as none. And if we update that again, we don't need to set any more triggers. So just click the save and close. What we can now do is go back into our header. Let's refresh this page. You can now see that the menu doesn't collapse, but it still works pretty nicely on mobile. And so it's really that easy to build an off-canvas menu. It's not hard at all, and it works pretty well in my opinion. So if you have found this video helpful, please let me know in the comments section. I have dropped all the links that you will need in the description. And if this is helpful to you, I'd love to hear from you. But for now, thanks for watching this video, and I'll see you again soon.